May of 2012. This is when a phase of mine kind of was coming to a close, and I felt like I needed to bring meditation to people, especially in North America, who very rarely ever consider the concept of meditation. And through the journey of teaching this class and doing my own meditation, obviously at home, and reading and doing all the things that I do in my spare time, I've come to know a lot of concepts, a lot of different areas of knowledge, and really knowledge that all of you have inside or can access. But really, what I feel like my purpose or idea is really just to guide you to this knowledge and so you can understand it for yourself and take it as you may. A lot of the concepts I talk about, they may resonate with you, they may not. But generally, we are drawn to truths, right? We're drawn to things that kind of are common to everyone. This is why, we've created so many different types of religions, and everybody has their own beliefs on things and different concepts of science and all these things. But, you're drawn to something greater than yourself. You're drawn to the idea of having some sort of purpose, having some sort of destiny, having some sort of journey that you're all on, right? Society has told us that, no, you don't have this. You are meant to become this type of person and marry this type of lady and have this type of life and retire and then, right? It's this beautiful concept of life that we've come to know. And we're in a shifting period. We're in a shifting period when people have kind of realized that maybe life is a little bit different than what we have come to realize, and things need to change, right? You see this with education, you see this with political structure, you see this with religion, science, war, all of these things. 2012 has marked an interesting and an important year in our history. 21st date, many people think it's going to end, or apocalypse, or all these things, and I think most people have an understanding that that's probably not going to happen. But it's not to say that it's not an important date, because believe me, it is. Over the next 2 or 3 years, the world will change like you've never really seen it before. Change in many ways, like I said, socially, education, political, monetary, because all of these things are kind of hitting a critical mass, a point of no return. The dollar is really of no use anymore since every country is in debt. And many of the education structure, this is why I kind of dropped out of school. And as you notice these things, you're starting to understand that maybe these things are also affecting me. But what you need to understand is that everything you see on the outside, and I've covered this many times, is only but a mirror of what's on the inside, right? So everything that's in your reality, everything that's in your life has been created by you. And the more that you can understand this, the more that you can just realize that everything you see here is going to guide me in understanding myself. As you don't like something about someone, that's something you don't like about yourself. As you like something about something, that's its opposite, right? And it always works this way. So the outer change we're seeing in the external world around the whole planet all has to do with the inner changes that are happening. Always. There's a reason why you're in this class, right? They're starting to meditate in 2012 or whatever. And there's a reason why you're making many changes. And many changes have been happening for the past year and a half, or so on. I know for myself, if you asked me about meditation a year and a half ago, there'd be no conversation, right? I'd be talking about money, I'd be talking about women, I'd be talking about partying. So when you notice these changes with, first of all, the people around you and yourself, you start to understand that maybe there is something going on. Maybe there is a shifting time. Maybe there's something that you don't totally understand that is going on, right? 12-12-12 today marks the first day of this kind of 9-day period up until the 21st. And really it's not a gigantic deal, because you've already been making the choices up until now to kind of guide you through this time. But as you go up until the 21st and beyond, constantly will you be flashed with more and more information of who you are, who you were meant to be, and what is kind of your path, or what are you supposed to be doing, right? And it's not to say that everything's going to change for you, or drastic everything is going to go in all these different areas, you don't have no idea what to do. Because it's a gradual shifting phase, and you've already been in it. But what's happening is, over the past, year and a half, when you've been flashed with new perspectives, new ideals, new friends, new jobs, new surrounding, this is all stemming from an inner change that is coming outwards. And all that's happening up until the 21st and beyond is more of this in an even more intense degree. So what does this mean, really, to you? Everything is working off of vibration. So the highest vibration would be of love, which is the natural state. Everything is natural. You look at nature, everything is love, everything is perfect, there's nothing wrong with it. And we are part of this, remember that. And then there's also guilt and shame and anger at the bottom, the lower vibrational frequency. So if you look at your life, look at it as like on a treadmill. If you're living at the love frequency, you're running, you're sprinting, you're going fast, and things are coming at you very fast, right? That high-paced lifestyle, where everything, I mean, sometimes it's difficult to realize, but when you're on it, you just go with it, and everything flows, and things are coming at you, and you're dealing with it. When you're at the angry, guilt, shame, whatever it is, that treadmill is going very slowly. So naturally, when you think of meaningful coincidence or synchronicity or things like that, they wouldn't make sense to you. Or that everything in your life is connected. And how, in this time, the most important thing is to go back and start looking at your life and connecting the dots. And as you meditate, as you reflect, self-reflection is something we all do. As you do these things, naturally you will have epiphanies, you will have flashes of things you need to do, you will have things of people you need to talk to that you haven't talked to in a long time. Memories that you totally forgot about, but they're still there. And this is happening more and more and more. Because all of that's happening is you're clearing out. You're clearing out all the garbage that is no longer needed for this shifting time or this new phase you're heading into, and that everybody is heading into. So whether or not you want to say, okay, Corey, he's crazy, I don't want to listen to him. It doesn't matter, because these things will come out whether or not you're meditating. Reason for meditation, or exercising, or eating well, or being around good people, or listening to good music, or doing things that are going to help your conscious, these reasons why you're doing this is to make it just easier on yourself. The less you meditate, the less you go, because really all you're doing when you're meditating, you're going inside and accepting everything about you. So if you had a really terrible thing you did in the past, or a really bad part of yourself that you don't want to tell anybody, the more you can go in and accept that as like a part of you, I mean, the more you can spread that story to help people, the more you can, I mean, just clear it out of you so you're not worrying about it anymore, right? Because the more you clear everything, naturally, the easier your life will be. If you resist things, I mean, we all know this. We resist it, we put it away, we sweep it under the rug, and we think it's all good, we put the smile on our face, and then a couple months later, the situation pops up again. Whether it's with a relationship, a situation, a habit you have, whatever it is. You can never hide it, because it's you. How could you hide it? It's in there. So whether or not you're conscious of it, that's another story. Meditating, becoming more conscious, more aware, will bring this out. It will bring this out, and you will become aware of everything about yourself, good and bad. The mistakes you made that you've learned from, and the future decisions that you may make that are wrong. People always ask me about clearing their slate, right? Clearing their karma, whatever they need to do. They don't want to think about the mistakes that they have made. But remember, every decision you have made, every choice you have made has brought you to this day right here. You're sitting here meditating, listening to me talk. If one decision was different, if you tied your shoe one day and took 5 minutes extra, you wouldn't be here. Everything is connected in that way. So when you look back at your life, you never can have guilt. I mean, you're going to feel it, but you always need to be conscious of that. I need to move past that. Because when you look back at the mistakes you made, they have made you to today. So as you accept right now that there is no guilt, then how could those situations ever have a hold on you? And as you look forward, all you're going to be accepting is more love, more good decision, more right action. Because the more conscious you become, so like I said, I'll tell you, in the past year and a half, I've lived a very free life. And for me, this is a type of life where I don't have worries about many things, because I've kind of stepped above it. When it takes time, believe me, it took a lot of effort. But once you can step above food, safety, money, all of these things that we're so caught up on, right? Time and money are the two #1 things that are creating fear in your life. Time and money. I gotta pay rent by this month, by this date. If I don't get it by this date, I'm not gonna have a place to live, I'm not gonna have food, I'm not gonna be able to support my family, I'm gonna be on the street, I'm gonna die. This is how your mind works. It goes from not paying rent to death. So when you can step above these things, which takes definitely time and effort, but once you're above these things, are you not in a timeless reality? A completely free reality. Because in the timeless or free reality, you have no worry. You're not worried about this date or this time. Obviously, you use it to construct your life in a reality, in a practical sense. But you're not worried about things all the time. You're not worried about this timeline of my life. By 25, I need this. By 27, this. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Or tomorrow, I need this. So when you can step above that, living a conscious life, and in this time I've been able to live a very wide array of things that will make you more conscious, knowing yourself, knowing the principles and beliefs that you have, exercising, yoga, meditation, eating natural food, sunlight, sleep, all of these things. There are certain things that you must follow to keep your body in complete balance and harmony. Because when your body is in complete balance and harmony, so your complete health, all of these things, naturally when you make decisions, you cannot be out of complete balance and harmony. Because love, which is in the center, 7 energetic centers running from the base of your spine up to the top. The center one is the heart chakra, or heart energy center. So when you're living here, naturally you will always make the right decision. You will also say always right, and you will do always right, and think always right. Everything will be right. Because when you're living in balance and living consciously, you can't make a wrong decision. Because if you make the wrong decision, you will feel guilt. You'll feel it instantly. Because if you know it's a wrong decision and you still make it, wouldn't you feel guilt right away? And then guilt is the worst form. It's the lowest vibration. So you get back down there, and then you're constantly in a battle from going all the way back and forth, living this emotional ups and downs, always being into your life. Every emotion you're feeling, oh, this is me, right? But when you can step above this emotion, it's like when you're in a dream. We're in a dream and the nightmare is so bad, it's terrible, you're like, oh, feeling it, then you wake up, everything's fine, right? How many times have we seen people or seen ourselves in this literally dream where we're feeling all these bad things, all these emotions, like, oh, my coffee spilled on my, like all this, and we're feeling so bad about it, but then all of a sudden when we step back and we realize, oh, there's children in Africa who have to walk 50 kilometers to get water. But we're worried about our little menial problems. All of a sudden you have a new perspective, right? No longer are these problems a big issue for you. In our society, we have come to know the duality perspective. Me versus you. How can I get mine versus how can you get yours, right? And I mean, when you have this on an individual level, because we all do, you have both parts in you. So when you have this on an individual perspective, where I need to get my money, I gotta get what's in it for me, naturally, think about it, if the global perspective is also like this. How is the world going to work? I mean, we see it. We see the wars, we see the famine, we see the suffering. I mean, North America is a very privileged country, but there's a lot going on that we may or may not have seen. So when we look at this and understand that maybe this perspective we have of duality, of me versus you, separate nature, rigid construct, always out of rigid construct, right? We're always labeling things. I mean, even labeling this as orange. You're labeling things constantly and putting judgments on things. I mean, when Susie does wrong to me and I say, Susie, you're wrong. You're so bad. What am I doing? When I do this, I'm projecting into the future because I'm saying, because Susie has done this in the past, she will always be like this in the future. And like I said in the beginning, you're constantly in a battle between past and future. Never here. A baby, always here. You give the baby this book, it will be with it for 2 hours. Can't read and just holding it. So amazed. But us, we need the glamour, we need everything, we need all the external stimulation, of course, because we've got so far away from just right here. So as we change our perspective to that of love, which would be not romance and mushy this, it's just you look out for the greater good of everyone around you. You look out for everyone. Compassion, right? Not to say you can't be rich, not to say you can't have all the things that you still want. But if you're living from a compassion or love perspective, naturally you're not going to want all of those things. It's just, why would you? You're feeling amazing. You get it? It's like when you smoke some weed, or you drink some alcohol, or you have sex, and you feel amazing. In that moment, you're just, this feels amazing. I need nothing else. As soon as you get out of it, oh, now I need more, right? I need more, I need more, I need more. Always. But if you're just here, peaceful, living through love, everything will be fine. So then when we apply this to the greater perspective, now all of a sudden, it's not country versus country, we're bringing everyone together. It's not my business versus your business. It's how can we help each other? It's not let's just battle everyone on this planet. Maybe let's go to more planets. Maybe let's do some interstellar travel or do things that we definitely can do, believe me, but we choose not to. So now, after we've come to know this external world, we've figured out everything on the outside, now it's time to come back right here. Because, I mean, we try and change everything. We don't like something, we change the outside. We don't like somebody, we try and change them. Instead, boom. Because now, once you take responsibility, because when you become more conscious, naturally you're going to want to help other people around you. I mean, this is why I'm talking to you, right? I don't want to live alone in this beautiful time, whatever reality. I want to have other people living in this with me. So naturally, for you, when you're feeling this, or already feeling it, you're going to want more people around you. You're going to want to lead others. And leading does not necessarily mean leading a bunch of people. It could be one person. It could be you, only you. Right? The more you're in-depth in your reality and feeling good in yourself, if you're doing good for the world, people are going to be drawn to you. Doesn't matter what you're doing, they're going to be drawn into it. Because people are always drawn to people that are just in their own world, not focused on everything external. We're so reactive to everything, right? Someone calls us a name, right? Constant reactivity. But when you're more present, these things, believe me, they have no effect on you. Obviously, you have to be practical, and everything needs to happen the way it should be, but it becomes much less important. So, leading up to the 21st, I'm going to ask you to try and meditate once a day, maybe more. But really, you need to become more conscious of yourself. Reflect. Look in the past. Look at the future. Look now. Look at the things about yourself that you like, you dislike. Look at your beliefs. We've all created many beliefs that we think we know everything, right? Believe me, we don't know shit. I don't know shit. No one knows. Because there's so much. You open one book, there's 10 more. You open those, there's 10 more. There's so much knowledge out there. So the more you realize that you don't know anything, and you shouldn't make beliefs on what you think is real or not, and maybe do your own research, go into Google, type the question, right? We have so many questions, but we never want to ask them. You can just go into Google, type it, and you get an answer almost instantly.
Google plug.
Almost instantly. It's like 0.14 seconds, I think. So when you are able to do this and realize that I want to know everything, I want to know the truth, naturally you will be given it. Because whatever you want in your life, you will get. The reason why you're not getting what you want, because you don't know what you want. That's it. You can't say, oh, I want money. How do you know you want money? Right? So the more you can set goals for yourself on what you want to achieve, what you want to do, what you want out of your life, naturally they will just come to you. And the beauty of this time, you are so lucky to live in this time. Because we're moving from third dimensional time reality into fourth dimensional, which we've already been in and out of, into fifth dimensional. So break it down quite quickly. Third dimension, you have because everything becomes from the center, the core, the nothing particle. So everything comes from here, you think it, you feel it as an emotion, then you act on it, then it manifests. That's third dimension, okay? So, spirit, thought, emotion, action, manifestation. Fourth dimension, spirit, thought, emotion, manifestation. You see that? I just scratched out the action part. Not to say that action is not going to be necessary, but it no longer takes 20 years to build a big business, right? You see businesses building up overnight. When you think of someone, all of a sudden they're contacting you and they're across the world. You don't have to travel all the way there. You can talk to them from your living room. These concepts have created our time and why time is speeding up. But the next one, which is after this December 21st set and beyond, is the fifth dimension. Living right here. Fifth dimension is thought, or spirit, thought, manifestation. Instant. So would that not mean you need to be controlling this? Because you are in control of this, believe me. So I mean, if you think something bad and it happens instantly, you probably want to be pretty controlling of what's happening in here, right? Or maybe clear. Maybe that would be better. Clear, nothing, right? Very clear. Maybe once in a while thoughts come and they're very good and then they happen and it's beautiful. And the rest of the time you're just enjoying, right? Instead of this crazy. Because in this little time that we're in and beyond, because there's no end date, everything's going to be flowing so much faster So your karma will be constantly clearing. So if you're not clear, if you're full of garbage, boom, it's going to come out all over. This is why on the December 21st date, when you have a flash, because you will have some sort of, I mean, the outer world is not going to change much. Yes, there'll be earthquakes, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the real idea is you're going to have an inner change. You're going to feel something. The more you're in tune with it, you'll feel it more. Believe me, I felt it today. But 21st, that's a time when you're going to be flashed with so much destiny, so much ideas of what you think you should be doing, so much intuition. It's going to come to you so fast and you're going to have to act. Because that's all that matters. The choice always comes down to you. In the Matrix, red or blue pill. Remember that? So, when you make the right decision, because I know you will, all it comes down to acting on what this intuition was. We all, most of the time, we act against our intuition, blah, blah, blah. No longer is it time for that. It's time to act on whatever is coming to you. And believe me, the more you're in tune with this love perspective, the more it'll be easy for you. However, if you are out of that, and you're in anger, or in hatred, or things that you're just blaming everything else, then naturally when these thoughts come to you, you're gonna be like, it doesn't make sense. I don't want to do it. I'm not gonna face those fears within myself, right? And naturally that is the choice that you will make. And there will be a separation. You will see it. I mean, you're already seeing it. You see people dropping off heavily, and you see people rising up. And these two shifts, that's literally what's happening. So, make the right decision. Naturally you are. You're in this class. You're hearing it from me. You're meditating. And the more you can do this, the easier the shift will be. Because it will go for a long time, and it will be amazing, and everything will be glorious. And if you understood more of the workings of the universe and everything of what's actually happening, I'm not going to go into it today, but it's beautiful, believe me. It's so beautiful, it's not even funny. And it's so positive. And everything you ever wanted will happen, as long as you make the decision for it to. That's all that matters, right? Decision, decision, decision. Okay? So, as we go into the 21st, always keep your perspective out of love. Love everything. You get hit by a car when you walk outside, you love that, right? That's the perspective it needs to happen, because everything is happening so perfect right now. Believe me, I had a hell of a day. And it probably wouldn't be a great day to most people. But the more that you can love these things and feel good about them, naturally you will understand that everything bad was supposed to happen to teach you this lesson and that lesson and this, and then you move to this and you make this constant, right? So if you love everything, then no longer will you be in guilt, because in this moment you can always decide to be happy. Happy, happy, next moment, happy, happy, get punched, happy, 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 punched, happy, right? Always, because it stems from you, only from you. So control this, because when you control this, then your emotions will not be all like, and then when that's happened, then everything on the outside will be so beautiful. You'll be living in peace and harmony and amazing. A nice little tip I will give to you though. Be around the people that are of most significance for you. Done. The people that have a positive influence on you, the people you love, the people you care about, these are the people you need to keep close. I mean, obviously. But we seem to separate ourselves from them and all this stuff. Bring them together. I mean, it's beautiful to have around Christmas, all that. But the more you're around good people, that vibration I talk about, I mean, believe me, the energy that's happening in here just from meditating is unbelievable. And the more you're around that vibration, the more your vibration will raise and theirs, and it'll just happen. Because all we're waiting for, and we already kind of hit it, is that critical mass point. When you boil a pot of water, only a certain amount of particles hit boiling, and then they all hit boiling. There's a study done on monkeys in Thailand or something, and one of the baby monkeys figured out a new way to do the fruit. And none of the other monkeys liked it, but a couple of them started doing it. And after a little bit of them did, every monkey across the whole planet of this species started doing the same way. Just from 10 to 100 little monkeys, out of thousands and thousands. So this is the same thing happening now. People who have come to know this understanding, this knowledge, or become more conscious, are just helping everyone else rise up. So that's what's going to happen. Because this new reality, everyone will have this ability, everyone will have, I can't even describe how much. Because it's too far out of most of our perception to understand. But believe me, it'll be a nice change, it'll be beautiful. I'm done for today. We're going to go into the next meditation. Really, I'm going to guide you through it a little bit, but I'm going to let you kind of flow off. Because I know there's a lot of stuff I talked about today, whether or not it resonated with you, I'm sure it did. But as you're able to meditate, and as you meditate for the next 9 days, because I know all of you will, please do, all you're looking at is who you are. The more you can go inside, the more you can, first of all, become silent, then go inside. That's probably the best. But the more you can become clear, I mean, things will just be flowing out. It's just like flowing, flowing, flowing. You don't have to do anything. You sit. It'll just come. And that's the beauty of it. That's why. There's nothing for me to tell you. There's no 10-step process of do this, this, and that. It's just live your life. Live it out of love, because you should always be doing that anyways. And meditate, which is self-reflection. Nice calm state. Okay?